The next subdivision surface that we are going to create is the bottom plate, which consists of these front plates as well. So we're going to hide this. And then once again, we're going to go to the top view and select a box. Kind of similar to what we did before. So we just make sure that it covers the entire surface. So up to the front, it can go a little bit past where we are because we are going to cut it. Looks like I didn't select everything. So now you can use the side view once again. And this time, let me select everything first. So this is the bottom plate that is curved upwards here. So we're going to select this and make sure that it aligns with where it ends. Right there. So you're checking this. Select everything and bring it down right there. Then the top part is again going to be up to this part. We're checking the front plate. So say up to there. So same thing we did with the other one. We're gonna add some edges. I think we did 7. And on this edge, we are going to add 3. And along here, we're going to add, say 7. And escape. Then go to the top view and we're going to align this middle section with the ZY plane, ZX plane, sorry. So we can select the robot to be right there. And then select everything. And just approximately right on that plane. Okay. So then we're going to reshape it, same way we did with the other one. We can start with affinity. Make sure it's right on the edge. Then come on here and I'm going to select all this. Oh, and for this one, the bottom plate, as you can see here, it's a bit inwards. It doesn't come all the way to the edge, so it's up to this point. So we can start right there. This will be a little bit wider. And then at the edge, we're going to select loop propagation, select the edge, and we're going to select this for the front part. Okay. Go back to the top view. No, actually, I need this, the second one. Go to attraction, and we're going to make it sharp. And as I said before, sharp is indicated by the negative. Then select the front loop. And it's going to slide inwards, like so. Then for this loop, we're going to move it right where this front plate begins. So translation up to that point. Select the front loop again. Go to affinity, and we're going to adjust it. Okay, that's good. So we might need another face cut right here. So I think what I'm going to do is to select this one, translation, move it a bit forward and make it a bit wider. Again, forward, wider, like so. And then add another edge here, just one. Then on affinity, like so. So now the curve is a bit right. Or for the end, we can flare it a little bit. We can flare it a little bit like that because it's the bottom plate. It's not It has nothing to do with the wing. I will show you why later on. So just flare it a little bit like that. So that's the shape we've got. Apply. Then go to the side view. And we're just going to confirm the height. So it should just align with the top part here. So this looks good. Now at the rear end, what I'm going to do is, because this is a closed surface, so it's closed on this side as well, we're going to have to cut it there. And so I'm going to select this. Now deselect loop and go to points. So select these points, translation, and just extend them a little bit. So when I come to cut the face, it's going to cut off the closed side of it. All right. Now right here at the back, let's see where the carving is starting. So it's starting about this point. So we can select these points and translate them up to where that curve is starting. Then we're going to add weight to the points. So for the points, there's no sharp or smooth because it's points. You just need the points to be strong and hold, so that if I modify these points, this one is going to remain where it is. But if the weight is 0 and I move this down, this is also going to shift a little bit down. Okay. Now that we have that, we can move this upwards. So we can select this one and just move it up like that. And create the shape of the guard here. So it's going to be these 3 points. We're going to move them upwards. And we're also going to add weight. So we're going to add weight to these points as well. Then we've got this one and this one. Translation. And then for this second point, the bottom one, select affinity, just bring them closer like that. The end points, again, bring them closer. Then we can select edges like this one and this one. Add some weight to the edges, the one at the bottom. Also add some weight on the edges. So we can get some reference pictures. So that you can get an idea of what we're doing. So we've got a raised part, it goes down, then it goes up and inwards, and this is kind of also going inwards. So this definitely needs to be wider than it currently is. But first, let's go back to points, translation. This endpoint where it's ending, we're going to move them forward. In the X direction, like so. Then we can select loops. Select edges. So this loop and this loop. Go to affinity. This loop as well as this loop. Going to bring the robot right here. I can extend. In fact, these endpoints I might just keep them outwards. Like so. Select edges. We're going to select this edge and this edge. On affinity once more, just pull them outwards like that. So there's no specific method for this. You just have to go with whatever method you use, right? As long as you come up with a shape, then you're fine. You're good. And the good thing is you can always come back here, modify anything that doesn't seem right. So we can leave it here for now, and we can come back later and edit if we feel the need to. I think that's okay. Let's go to the top view. And that's fine. So that will be it for the bottom plate. So for this bottom plate, as I said, we are only going to need the front plate here and then the bottom surface as well as this. It comes all the way to the end. Okay, we can hide that and show the initial surface. So one more thing we're going to do to this surface is to soften these corner edges. If you check the reference pictures that I'm going to attach, you can see that the corners are a bit soft. You see, it's very smooth around the corners. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to do that by decreasing the weight around the corners. To achieve that smooth corners here and down there. Okay, so we're going to select linear propagation, edges, and just select the 4 of them. So the dotted one is the one that is hidden. Come to weight. You can see they are very sharp right now with their negative 100. And it's just going to lower the value. So that's negative 35. And see how that's looking. And all the way to 0 so that there's no any sharpness. That's looking much better. I don't know what would happen if you switched to curvature, but when it's at 0, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter when it's at 0. I'm going to undo that. Just leave it at 0. And alternatively, actually, you can also move them a little bit inwards. Let me first undo what we just did. We have the sharp corners. Linear propagation, select this and this. Oh, they are not all selected. Okay, then go to affinity and move them inwards. So while it's still at 100, we've got points that are interlocking. And it's not just on one side. Oh, it's on both. It's on both. Okay, we can sort that one fast. We've got points, we've got interlocking points. So we can select them. Oh, I forgot to press Control. Okay. And move them upwards. It's actually the entire line. But no worries, we can move them upwards, say up to about that point. Then select the other ones. I'm gonna have to select this individually. I hope we selected the right ones. Yep, okay. So you move them up so that they are not interlocking and apply. You can select linear propagation, select edge, select this edge and move it down so that they are well balanced out. Okay, now we can select our 4 edges. Roll effect, see first how that works. Okay, and then now we can reduce the weight. So once again, double click. They are all selected. Go to weight. Let's check first at 25. Because we still need some definition. We can leave it at 25 for now. We can leave it at 25. Because we still want to know where the edge is. If we check the pictures, you can still tell where the edge is. But as you can see, it's a bit inwards. There's a curvature right there. Okay, back to material with edges. and then back to 50%. Now that we've got the two main components, it's just creating the surfaces for, as I said, for GSD. And we'll start with the ones that are cutting the top part. So obviously we're going to need a surface from here that cuts all the way like so. So select extrude. This is pretty simple. You don't need a lot of editing for this one. Very straightforward. Just make your curve along what is visible. Go back to points. So looks like we moved when we were at this endpoint. Remember to use shift because again it's 2 points. There is the top part and there is the bottom part. And then right where we are cutting it at the end, I want to make sure that this part, the middle part, is flat. So I'm going to select this point. Define the robot at that point. And then select all these points. Or the other 2 points. And then align them. Let's try that once again. Okay, we're here. Reset the robot. So we got 1 point, 2nd point, 3rd point here. So I'll put this point here. And then select robot definition, use this point. Then select these 2 points and align them here. Then reset the robot. So that's just to make sure that the tangency at where we would split it is going to be flat. And that gives us the first surface. So what we'll do is just to split it using the ZY plane, the ZX plane, sorry, and then mirror it on the other side, and we can use that for splitting. Because I don't want to split the main body. Go to the side view, select everything, all the points, and you want to move it here, select affinity, make it wide, make sure it's splitting everything, and okay. So that's the first splitting surface. We can hide that. Once you split that, we've got another one for the bottom plate. So select extrude. So for the bottom plate, we're going to start, let's say here. We'll come and check it later. And then for this point, add point, move point, align point, attraction. Select this point and just make it a sharp corner. Go back to adding points. Undo that point. I'll bring it, say, here. And also, this point is going to be sharp, or maybe a little bit curved. Go to attraction, make this point sharp. Add another one here. So just like that, and apply. So we had these points here. We forgot to add some weight to them, so it's a sharp corner. Then for these 2 points, Select robot definition, use this point, then select these 2 points and align them to make them straight. Reset the robot. Then you're going to select these 2 points, go to the side view, and now make sure that they get up to this point. You can select everything. Bring it up. Remember, this is splitting the bottom surface, so it doesn't have to go beyond this. Exit. Select yes, exit. I'm going to make it transparent so I can see through. So this point up to where we have this plate, we are going to cut it there. That's why we extended it at the bottom plate. All right, that's the third subdivision surface.